Well, I always say in life, you have got to have the yin and the yang, and this week I'm certainly bringing you the yin and the yang. I'm a bit nervous about this week. I don't know if it's just, I don't know. I've got like 21 followers now. Oh, how exciting! Thanks, guys. Part of the gang. We've got like a little gang. I don't know yet. I'm nervous of making an idiot of myself, and I know that sounds really silly, and even just saying it out loud, I feel quite embarrassed. I mean, I'm nearly 50 and I'm embarrassed about making a fool of myself. If I haven't learned anything by now, what have I been wasting these years doing? Like, it's true though, isn't it? When you're young and carefree, that saying is so true. You're young and carefree. You don't care what people think. Like, I didn't care when I fell off. I didn't care if I made a fool of myself. And now, I don't know, I've become old and aware. Is that the right term? I know I'm not old, but older and aware of what could go wrong, aware of the comments that might get made, aware of the looks that you might get. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether you just become self-conscious maybe. And you know, I'm forever telling my daughter, she's only 15, and I'm forever saying to her, like, aim for the stars and be who you want to be, and don't be ashamed of who you are. And then I kind of think, I listen to myself and think, oh my God, take a piece of your own advice, you nervous wreck, But yes, I genuinely am a little bit nervous, and I hope we can always criticise ourselves, and I'm sure we can always criticise others. It's easily done, isn't it? And I suppose that's what I'm most aware of, is it's knowing how easy this whole internet scene can be. It can be quite toxic, can't it? I don't know whether I'm ready for that. I'm quite a sensitive little soul. Yeah, I don't know. Well, do you know what? I'm putting myself out there, and I'm brave enough to do that. Could it have gone better? Yeah, of course it could have gone better. Could I have ridden it better? Yeah, of course I could have ridden it better. And I could sit and pick holes in the whole video. I'm going to try and not to. I'm going to try and just do a voiceover of what went wrong and why. Because otherwise you could just end up you could just annihilate yourself, couldn't you? And then not want to ever do it again. And I do it because I love it, not because I profess to be an expert or anything other than it is just my hobby. And I do it because I love it, and I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. And even when it goes wrong, they're the moments that you learn from, and they're the moments that you need to pay attention to, because they're the gaps in your training, aren't they? And if it means that you have to go back a step or two, then that's what we'll do. I'm very aware we're a billion miles away from the qualifier height that we need to be come April, but we have got some weeks left, quite a few weeks. It's only the end of February, and I am optimistic we are going to go there fully prepared and ready to go into that qualifying class with confidence. And that's the main thing, is I want to go into it with confidence and not feeling like, I don't know, I don't want to do it. Like a snowflake. I don't want to be a snowflake. So I'm going to run through some natural horsemanship techniques that I suppose I've just learnt along the way. And this will show Bean and I working together on and off the head collar, and it's quite interesting. Well, maybe not, maybe fast forward it. I think it's interesting, and I enjoy doing that sort of work with her. And then we fast forward to the jumping lesson that we had. It was yesterday, and we've had better moments. It wasn't our finest work, so we're going yin and yang. I like to bring a bit of everything. So I won't play all of this live. I think I'll fast forward through some of it and just put it on fast speed and let you watch it. So I won't do a talk over for the whole lot. But this, I normally always start with her just on one of those rope halty head collar things. And I do some really basic walking away, stopping, making sure she's not in my personal space. And if she is, I just ask her to move back away from it a little bit and just give ourselves a little bit of distance. and then I continue walking, and you'll see I just keep stopping periodically, and if she's not in my personal space I continue. If she's a bit close to me, I just want her to move back a little bit, so I then ask her to back up a bit and take a step backwards. And that's just around that respecting your personal space. You know, they've got to have those boundaries. So Bean obviously has done this for, well, many years really. I got her as a 3-year-old. She's 10 this year. Little old girl. Yeah, so on and off we've done this for about 7 years. I wouldn't say I do it massively regularly. I do try to do it regularly, but I would say on and off, maybe, I don't know, once a month possibly. So here I'm just yielding her away from me, making her turn her quarters away, and this is all, as you can see, just by using hand motions and body language. I step onto the tarpaulin and she immediately is a little bit like, oh, I don't know if I like that. I don't fuss her, I don't make a thing of it, I just stand and let her have a little sniff and make up her own mind that she wants to step onto it and follow me. That's the whole point of this exercise, is that it's all around trust, and that she does it because she wants to do it, not because I'm forcing her to do it. And you can see there she was like, oh yeah, okay mum, I'll follow you over. So the next bit's quite interesting, because although she does start to follow me down through the tarpaulin again towards the obstacles. Now I've not been in this obstacle course yet. She just gets her little feet tangled in the tarpaulin a little bit, and that's my bad really. I hadn't secured it enough, and then that makes her panic, and you'll see here she just gets a little bit panicky. Now it looks like she's really close to me. She actually wasn't. She was actually really careful around where I was and the way that she behaved then. And you will note, yeah, I'm not wearing a hat, and probably I should be, and that's my bad really, in that I trust her so much that I wouldn't usually wear a hat. But actually looking back through this, I thought, well, it wouldn't hurt to pop a hat on, because you never know when these things might go wrong. So this broke that little bit of trust because of that. And I now have to spend a little bit of time just building her back up again. And you can see her sort of like, well, I really want to try for you, mum, but actually it's worrying me. And look, she has a little nose scratch, because that's that tension, isn't it? Their tension held in their noses. And yeah, it's obviously tickling her, where she's trying really hard and she's trying not to panic. And again, the tarpaulin came up and caught her back leg, and Bean is really funny with stuff over her feet. She is super, super reactive. And here you can see she's squirming almost like, I really, really want to run and run away from that. But I know that mum's sort of telling me it's okay, so I'm going to believe her. And this is it really. This really solidifies now. You can see she's just starting to relax again and listen to me and follow me. And now, I mean, I might just leave this running without me talking. We run through the obstacle course a couple of times with her following me on the lead rein. And you can just see here that I'm straightening out that tarpaulin. Yeah, we go in and out of the obstacle course a little bit, just on the head collar. And I'll leave that running maybe for a few minutes more, just to give you an idea of some of the stuff we do. So now I'm just taking off the rope head collar, and I now say, let's try it without. Why not give it a go, see if she'll follow me through. And you can see she's just that little bit tentative, and I've maybe gone too far away. Oh no, she says, no, it's all right, Mum, I can follow you. Now this bit's a bit tricky because it is quite skinny in there, so she's got to make a bit of a turn. And I think I just like give her a bit of encouragement, give her a little pat and say, come on. And I may just move her body slightly to make it easier for her. So I think I ask her to move her little front end over, and then it just straightens her up a bit, so she's a bit like, oh yeah, okay, I get the turn now. And as you'll see, she'll now follow me through. And the whole key here is that she doesn't rush over that tarpaulin and then run me over. So I get her to halt on it, give her a treat, and then a good pat. And that's kind of the end of the exercise for her. Yeah, as you can see, she worked really well. And I was really, really chuffed with this session. So well done, Bean. Hey, Bean and I are going out tonight. What a week. What a week. So there's me earlier saying to Jim Bob, I might not hack today because like it's raining and I really don't feel like it. And he says, yeah, haven't you got a lesson booked? Oh my God, yes I have. Exciting. I'm glad to go in this household, don't you know? Oh, and I'm boiling. This weather, like it's dank and miserable, but I'm absolutely sweating. So I'm gonna strip off and keep mucking out, and maybe we'll film a bit from Kennick and show you some of our escapades. I'm hoping she jumps well tonight. I haven't had a lesson with Jo for absolutely ages. Jo Burns, I go to her fairly regularly. I say fairly regularly, she's not seen me in months and keeps prompting me like, hello, do you want a lesson? I'd need a lesson. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm a little bit nervous. Like, she's not nasty or anything, but she makes me work. She makes me work for those well dones. I just quickly popped on. I'm running really, really late. Oh, little Jim Jam's waiting for me, ready to hitch up my trailer. I love him so much, and he just knows how late I always am, basically. So bless him, he's there waiting. So do you know what I thought? I thought I'm gonna make him a nice little flask of coffee, because that's the sort of person I am. This is what I absolutely love. Oh my God, where is it? This is what I love about taking Bean jumping. Literally, saddle, bridle, hat, boots, nose net. Everything's done. That's it, done. Oh, and obviously Bean. Yeah, it's just so quick and easy, isn't it? I remember back in the day when I was old, I used to go British eventing with my old horse. Oh my God, the amount of stuff you needed to take. It was like going on Ollie Bobs. It really was. Come on, Beanie. Yay. Oh dear. Yay, we made it. Oh, by the skin of our teeth. We are going on a little road trip. And the best news is that Jim Bob decided to come with me. He is chief driver today. Yay. I thought I'd sweeten him up. I know how to sweeten the huzz, give him a little flask of coffee. So I got one for the road. It's actually only like 20 minutes up the road, but even still, it keeps him happy. I did just say, oh, I'm going to be filming. And he was like, well, you're not filming me. I said, no, it's okay. I won't do that to him. I drag him along to everything. And do you know what he always says? He always says, oh, you have to involve me in everything. So I'm subtly trying to involve him in the vlog now. I think everyone would love you. Honestly, Jim Jab, you should join our little gang and be on the vlog. Maybe one day, guys, I'll manage to convince him to be this side of the camera. But at the moment, it's not looking promising, I'll be honest. Somebody did comment and say about Penelope. They said, well, you know, you need to put on her is Jim Foley because he'll be brave enough. And I said, do you know what? There's a shout. He would be brave enough, and he'd be stupid enough to do it as well. Probably bareback, bitless, and without a hat, knowing him. Anyway, guys, we're off for our little road trip up to Kennick, which is, like I said, about 20 minutes away. I've got a show jumping lesson booked with the Jo Burns Firth. Like I said earlier, I always get a little bit nervous. I don't really know why. Just that little bit of, oh, is it nerves? Is it excitement? It's that crossover where you're sort of thinking, I don't know which feeling I'm feeling. I'm going to go with nerves, but I'm not quite sure why. I don't think I'm nervous of jumping. I'm maybe nervous of getting told off by Jo. She'll kill me for saying that because she's like the nicest person. So anyway, I won't film too much more because who wants to just see us sat in a car? But I'll get the gym bob to film some of the lessons so that you can get to watch what we do in it. She'll probably no doubt ask me what my aims are, and I'll run through that, and then she'll probably say something like, what do you want to work on, Nick? And I'll say, I don't know, I haven't got a clue what I need to do. And then hopefully she'll give me some really blinding tips that will make me a superstar. But hopefully all will be good in the hood and we'll have a good lesson. So after a quick warm up, we get straight to the poles on the ground, using these poles on the corners. The whole idea for this was to keep the rhythm on the approach and the exit of the poles, of the grid poles, sorry. So a lot of the time we lose our rhythm as we're going around the corners, and this whole exercise was around keeping that rhythm forward and basically travelling and moving forward through the turns. You'll see she doesn't quite meet those poles right on this rein, and I just couldn't seem to get my line right. I don't think it was Bean, I think it was the line I was riding, just didn't seem to flow very well. You'll see on this rein, coming out of these grid poles, we actually meet the poles on the turn really nicely, and the line is much neater. She actually makes that look really easy, whereas on the other rein I just couldn't seem to get it right, and I almost felt a bit I don't know whether I just couldn't see the line. I don't know. We run through this a couple of times on each rein just to get familiar with it. I mean, she's not keen on poles on the ground really, and I don't do an awful lot with her. I probably should do more really. She just seems to get a little bit sort of almost like they're in her way. But after running through these a couple of times, we then start to put the fence up on the grid. So you just see this is our last time through here. There's the last couple of poles are just a bounce stride, which just make her sit up a bit better and bring her bottom underneath her a little bit better. You can see she's pretty chilled here. She's got, I think, quite a nice rhythm, maybe a bit slow for Bean, and I know a lot of people are probably thinking she's not really that slow, but for Bean she does tend to go better from a slightly bigger canter, and for her that often looks quicker. I know people say bigger, not faster, but for Bean it often looks faster because of her little pony legs. So you'll see there she made absolutely no probs of that oxer at the end, but just again came to those poles wrong, and they're almost like just sort of tripping her up, if you like. So my fault, probably my line, and just the rhythm isn't quite right. So we come down through it again just to see if we can get it right this time, and that was much better, meeting those poles exactly where we should have done. So that was good work there. I'll just do a little bit of slow-mo here just for you to see. I don't think we meet the poles properly this time, to be fair, but it just gives you an idea. Down the grid, exactly as we should be. A nice long takeoff there, really, but she certainly doesn't make any doesn't really care about it. So I was quite pleased with her at this point, thinking, yep, this is all heading in the right direction. Unfortunately for me, this is where it starts to go wrong. So I mean, this isn't a bad shot, actually. I'm quite pleased with that. She jumps that pole quite nicely, goes around the back of this pole, comes into this fence, and she slams the brakes on. Now it's hard to tell from this video. You can't really see how I'm riding. You can't see if the rhythm's changed. We come to it again. I think I've set it up better. She slams the brakes on. Now I'm starting to think, what if there's something wrong? You know, in my heart of hearts, I think I'm thinking she has got a lot going on. There's a horse in the background that you can't see that's wandering up and down. I think he'd escaped from his stable, to be fair, bless him. And then there's a block just past, so where those white wings are in the distance, there's a block on the floor, and again that's sort of like in her eye line. I'm making excuses. The bottom line is I just didn't ride it well enough. So Jo puts it back down to half upright and she pops it with no drama whatsoever. Who knows, it could have been like Jo pointed out, I maybe sometimes ride the last 3 strides a bit too much, to almost push her out of a rhythm. She's combined that with the fact that she can be finicky. You know, she's an animal, isn't she? At the end of the day, she's got her own mind, and sometimes if Bean doesn't fancy something, Bean isn't going to do it. And I think sometimes if the things aren't exactly as she likes it, whether that be I've put her in the wrong place, I've come to it badly, we're too close, we're too far off, all these things can be a factor for Bean to say, it's just not quite right for me. And I suppose that's why sometimes we don't get it out. We don't get it right when we're out competing either. And it does knock my confidence a little bit, because I always think, what have I done wrong? Where am I going wrong? You know, you can't help but question what you could do better each time. But this is good homework for me to watch this back as I'm doing tonight, going over it, seeing how I rode it, where I could change things and how I can improve on it. And that's why we have these lessons. You know, it can't always be perfect. Otherwise there'd be no point having a lesson. You know, why pay someone to teach you if you're already there and you know it all? So again, we come round to this one. Now, she's not seen the blocks yet that are under this fence. Normally I don't think that would bother her, but again, it seems to just unsettle her. Now, I don't know where the horse was on the left. It would have been on the left of her there, down that stretch. And he was wandering around. I mean, he wasn't causing us any bother, but whether that was just enough to put her off what she was doing, she can be a little bit like that. Like I said, if things aren't quite perfect. But as you can see, just that little blip put us off to the whole line, you know, and made us deep into the oxer. I mean, to be fair to her, she picked her little feet up and still got over the fence, so I shouldn't really moan. And then we go on to go round again. We did actually carry on here. I just can't load up the footage, but we did go on to then do another couple of rounds that were quite nice around all the fences. Here she's just having a nice little stretch after her gymnastic workout. Well deserved, yeah, I think so. I mean, we have to remember she hasn't jumped since September. And now just a little bit of slow-mo trot work to finish with. So hopefully you have enjoyed this week's vlog, and thank you for tuning in one more time. Same time next week maybe. Let's give it a go. I've got to try and think of things to fill the space with. I mean, I don't even do that much. I'm mainly hacking, as you can see. I'm always in the same place when I'm videoing as well. I think it's like the safest bit of road. I can take my phone out and video. I promise it's all on separate days. Yeah, I'm going to have to think of some exciting things to do. But yeah, I'll get there. Well, we'll see. We'll see what I can fill it with next week. And I'll see you all again next week.